everybody. I hope you guys are doing well and you've had a good week and a good weekend, and I hope you've been able to spend some time outside. I'm still missing seeing you guys, but I think about you all every day and pray for you all, and I hope you're doing well. And I want to say that I loved seeing the pictures and the videos that you sent me from your waiting boxes. And so I hope that you still have your items and you're using those, especially your journal, which I know several of you really liked. So I thought, since that was so much fun and we can't get together this week, I thought I would send you another Bible story bag. This week, you're going to get a fun bag. Each family is going to get one Bible study fun bag. And the Bible story that we're going to talk about this week is Jesus in the Storm. And a lot of you know that story, but some of you might not know it. So I thought I would take a moment and read the story from the Jesus Storybook Bible. It's one of my favorites, and I know a lot of you have this book too. But it's the story of Jesus in the storm. The sun was going down. The air was warm and still. "Let's go across the lake," Jesus said to his friends. Jesus had been helping people all day, and now he was tired. So they left the crowds at the shore and set out in a small fishing boat. Jesus climbed into the boat to take a nap, and as soon as his head touched the pillow, he fell fast asleep. It was a beautiful evening. A gentle breeze rustled the sails. The friends were chatting happily as they headed out into the middle of the lake, and everything was perfect. Just right for a nice, quiet sail. They were only about halfway across when, out of nowhere, whirling winds swept across the lake, fierce and strong like a hurricane. A blinding flash of lightning lit up the sky. Thunder roared right overhead. The storm blew the water into towering waves that hurled the little boat up and up and up. Then sent it hurtling, crashing back down, down, down. The fishing boat was blown and buffered and tossed and turned back and forth, up and down, and left and right, and round and round. And in the middle of the storm, Jesus was sleeping. Now, Jesus' friends had been fishermen all their lives, but in all their years fishing on this lake, they had never once seen a storm like this. No matter how hard they struggled with their ropes and sails, they couldn't control their boat. This storm was way too big for them. But the storm wasn't too big for Jesus. "Help!" they screamed. "Wake up! Quick, Jesus!" Jesus opened his eyes. "Rescue us! Save us!" they shrieked. "Don't you care?" Of course Jesus cared, and this was the very reason he had come, to rescue them and to save them. Jesus stood up and spoke to the storm. "Hush," he said. That's all. And the strangest thing happened. What do you all think happened? The wind and the waves recognized Jesus' voice. They had heard it before, of course. It was the same voice that made them in the very beginning. They listened to Jesus and they did what he said. Immediately, the wind stopped. The water calmed down. It glittered innocently in the moonlight and lapped against the side of the boat as if nothing had happened. The little boat bobbed gently up and down. There was a deep stillness and a great quiet all around. Then Jesus turned to his wind-worn friends. "Why were you scared?" he said. "Did you forget who I am? Did you believe your fears instead of me?" Jesus' friends were quiet as the wind and the waves. And into their hearts came a different kind of storm. "What kind of man is this?" they asked themselves anxiously. "Even the winds and the waves obey him," they said. Because they didn't understand. They didn't realize yet that Jesus was the Son of God. Jesus' friends had been so afraid they had only seen the big waves. They had forgotten that if Jesus was with them, then they had nothing to be afraid of, no matter how small their boat or how big the storm. And I love this story because it reminds us that Jesus is always with us, that we are never alone, and so we don't have to be afraid. But sometimes I know that our fears can get pretty big, and it can be really hard to not be scared. But in those times, just remember to trust in Jesus, because Jesus is there with you. So I have some fun activities that I hope you and your family will do together to go with our story that we just read. So first of all, I want you to open your bag up and reach inside. And the first thing that you should take out are your instruction cards. So we'll lay those out here in front of us, and you can do that too if you want to. We have lots of different cards, so you can just lay those out. Okay, so the first card says Jesus in the storm. And this gives you the scripture reference for the story that we just read. And it comes from Mark chapter 4, verses 35 through 41. And that is in the New Testament, and it's in the Gospels, which hopefully you remember the Gospels mean good news because it tells us the story about Jesus' life. So I want you to get a Bible that you have in your house, or you can even use your computer or a phone and look up the scripture and read it out loud together. In fact, read it a couple times because it's not very long. And then there's a couple activities that you can do here. First of all, you know how when we're together we like to act out the story a lot and how much fun that is? Well, I hope that you and your family can do that too. You all can get together and act it out, or just you and your siblings, or you and your pets and animals can do it. And remember that you can take turns acting out different parts, but don't forget that somebody can also be the wind and the rain too, and make a lot of noise. But make sure that's okay that you do that. And then another thing that you can do that might be fun is to imagine having a boat right in your house. And you can go around, as long as your parents say it's okay, and get some blankets and pillows and maybe cardboard boxes and try to make a boat on your own and pretend you're going on a fishing trip or that you're going on a long voyage. What kind of things would you take with you on a trip like that? And then, this is my favorite part, when you do those things, take a video or a picture of it, and I put my phone number down here, and you can send them to me so that I can see what you guys are doing. And also on the back of that card are some wondering questions that you can talk about with your family. Maybe when you're sitting around for lunch or dinner together, you all can wonder about the story that we read. The next card is an experiment, and this is really messy, so make sure that you get your mom and dad to say okay before you do this. But using vinegar and baking soda and oil, you can do a fun experiment that talks about Jesus and how Jesus calms our fears. So that would be really fun to do. And then there's an art project on this card, and it says you can paint a wooden boat. Well, if you look in your bag, every family will have a wooden boat kit. And so you can take it out, and there's instructions about how you put it together, and you will need some glue to put it together. And then you can paint it, or you can color on it with markers, or you don't have to color it at all, but you can put it together. So there's one for every family to put together. And then also, you can make a coffee filter cross. Now, what is that? Well, in your bag, you will find some blank coffee filters. And what you can do is you can take some washable markers and color all over it. And then once you've colored it really pretty, you can put some water on it, and it'll make it look kind of tie-dyed like this right here. And then you can draw a cross and cut out the cross, and you can put that on your purple felt next to your candle to remind us that Jesus is always with us. So you can do that, and there will be one for each of you in your bag for that. And then the last card says praise. And here it has a link that you can go to on your computer, and it has the song, Jesus in the Boat. So you can learn that song together and sing it and learn the motions, and that'll be really fun. We can sing that together when we come back together. And then finally, we can send a note of encouragement to Scarlett Jasper, and she is the missionary that our church is working with. And our job is to encourage her and to let her know that we are supporting her and that we're praying for her. So in your bag, you will find an envelope with her address on it and some blank note cards that you can color on and write notes of encouragement, letting her know that we're praying for her and that we hope that she's doing well. And you'll also have an envelope that you can put those cards in and drop those in the mail. And that way she can know that we're thinking about her and that we love her. And finally, the last thing that you will find in your bag are some prayers. And these prayers are prayers that you can color. So you can get out your markers, your crayons, or your colored pencils. And as you read through these prayers together, you can color them and then hang them up or put them next to your bed and pray those prayers at night. And we can pray those prayers together. So those are the things that you have in your bag this week. And again, I hope you'll share with me what you're doing. And I miss you guys. And I can't wait to see you all again and hope you're doing well.